Hi guys, it's Ben Cornelius. Today I want to talk about a device called Ableton Note Echo. So you're going to find it over here in the MIDI effects. So basically what Note Echo does is it takes an incoming MIDI note and it echoes it. So it can at times sound like an audio delay, but really it's echoing the MIDI notes before they get to the device, before they actually get to the synth or keyboard or whatever you're playing. So I'm going to demonstrate here. I've got a little short thing, and I just thought this groove came out really cool, and all it is a note happening once per bar: C, C, B flat, B flat, B flat, etc., etc. And that's really simple coming in. So let's just hear, what does this sound like? That's what's going in. So super simple. But as I add back in these note echoes, this is what it sounds like. It even keeps going afterwards. It's kind of interesting. I would advise using a limiter if you use one of these things, because sometimes it can get pretty wacky and can put out some sort of unexpected results. So I always have a limiter on my master channel if I'm just playing with weird stuff, or you could put the limiter on channel of the instrument. You'll also notice I've just for some character stuff, I've added this note length, which is another very simple and cool MIDI device. And I'm just automating how long those notes are. So I could go in here and, painstakingly edit how long each note is, or I could just automate this note length thing and just be prepared for some unexpected results. So just every bar, it's automating this up and down. Just thought it sounded better that way. I've also got this scale. I'm not familiar with this scale, but I just kind of played around with some until something sounded good. So looking at the Note Echo device, what you have, it's pretty simple. By the way, I always keep this up, even though I kind of know what's going on. I always like to have this little info view up. So if you're learning stuff about any device or anything else in Ableton, you can use this little view and it will tell you what's up. So this is the delay time, and so that's measured in 16th notes, so that's dependent on the tempo of the song, etc. That's what happens when I have this sync on. So if you switch this to the other way, then it just is a pure millisecond delay, and so you can do that, and this doesn't have anything to do with the tempo of the song or anything like that. It's just going to be a direct reflection of this, no matter what tempo and settings you have. And right here, there's also a beat offset percentage. So what this is doing is just kind of adding some life to it, because it will make it to where the delay doesn't end up perfectly on the grid. So it will be like 3/16, and then it'll go shortening and extending the delay time by fractional amounts. So this would be 3/16 notes, and then it'll fluctuate by 33.3% above and below that. So play with that for sure. Then we've got input, through, and mute. So what this will do is when you this lets the original note that you actually programmed or played, that will let that through, and then the note echo will take place. But then this mute function would be that original note doesn't come through, and only the echoes will come through. So depends on what you want to do. Right here is the interesting one. That's what's kind of given us our pitch variation. Is this goes up plus 1 semitone with each echo. So every time it repeats, it's going to go up 1 semitone. And you can set this to be all the way up to 12 semitones or an octave. You can also go down. The feed delay is the amount of velocity which comes to the echo. That's kind of self-explanatory, I guess. So if you put in something that's at full velocity and you have it at 100%, it's going to echo. The first echo will also be at that velocity, the 100% velocity. So feedback is interesting. It's just pretty much exactly like the feedback on a normal echo or delay. And this is basically like how many repeats are you going to get of that. And if you set it on 100, it's going to keep repeating forever. And so at this 41%, you're going to hear a lot of repeats, and then it will sort of decay naturally. As you can see right here, you can sort of see the velocity as it's ascending in pitch, because remember, with each repeat it's going up by 1 semitone, and then it also is going down in velocity. So then another thing I like to do is just put another one after it. So just like duplicate this and see what it sounds like. So we can kind of mess around. So we've got that going. We could even put another one. So I mean, very quickly, you see when you stop, it still keeps going. So I find that really interesting, and you can make kind of cool little ascending or descending arpeggios just like that. And then it could sound pretty cacophonous if you don't put some sort of scale thing after it, or you know, if you're going for something specific, you could let it sound like this also. So I'll show you what it sounds like with the scale off. So if you want to get a spooky, unsettling thing, you could certainly do that, but then this actually captures each of those so that these 1 semitone jumps, whatever comes through it all comes out in this scale, or whatever scale you want. So that's pretty much it for note echo. Just try different things and let me know what kind of use cases you come up with. It's a very simple device that's very, very powerful in my opinion, especially if you start stacking them after each other, messing with the note length as well, messing with different scales. I mean, you can just put some very simple things in and get out some really cool stuff. That's just me pressing the note one time, so very interesting.